Hi folks, this is Vivek from Exam Victor. In this video, we'll talk about probably the most important topic in the verbal ability section, reading comprehension. As if you've seen our lesson overview, then you know that this is the first or one in a series of videos on this topic. In this one, we're just going to have an overview of what this section or what this type of question is really about. So let's go ahead. So what is a typical RC question or a reading comprehension question? What does it really look like? So most of the exams that we are going to address, definitely CAT and other MBA exams as well, you can expect a long passage. Okay, by long we mean something around 1,000 words. 1,000 is a benchmark. Sometimes it's 800, sometimes it's 1,200. Sometimes you might get exceptionally lucky and the passages are actually shorter, so we're talking like 400 or 500 words, but don't count on it, alright? On average, expect something in this range of 800 to 1,200 words. These passages are going to be followed by several questions asking you stuff about the passage. So if I were to represent the same thing pictorially, you'd have a long passage, right? So this is maybe 1,000 words or so. And then you're going to have questions. Some of the questions are going to be factual. Some of them are going to be opinion based, right? They're actually going to ask what is the author's opinion. Some of them might be freebies. We'll deal with each of these types in a little while, but it's important to know that there are different types of questions. So for most of these questions to really achieve any level of success in the exam, understanding this whole passage is crucial. It's extremely important. How to do this? Are there shortcuts? Are there efficient ways? Yes, there are. We'll deal with that in a little while. The freebie questions, of course, are, as the name indicates, freebies. So those you may not need to know the entire passage or really read it in detail, but you won't really see too many of those. You should see more actually of fact and opinion based questions. And looking at CAT specifically, RC in CAT is a slightly different beast. So just because of the format of CAT and of course the fact that CAT is probably the toughest of all the MBA entrance exams, RC in CAT comes with its own set of challenges and quirks that you should be aware of. First of all, the number of passages and questions. Now this is something they change each year, so there's no guarantee what will happen this year or next year. But in general, one third of whatever the verbal section is, right? One third of that, so of the verbal section is RC, alright? This year 2015 specifically, they have said that the RC questions are going to be around 34. So you can expect maybe around 10 questions total in from RC. 10 questions. Now this 10 might be 8, it might be 12, but a ballpark number is 10. 10 questions will not be from one passage. So far CAT for the last 3 or 4 years have started giving 3 or 4 questions per passage and 3 passages total. So 10 questions would be split up into probably 3 passages, and each passage would have 3 to 4 questions, right? So that's what you can expect for this year. It's based on what we've seen for the last few years, and that's what they should follow. Now CAT, as we all know, is a computer based test, right? It's not a paper and pen test. This is also a challenge. Why is it a challenge? Because an RC passage, especially a CAT RC passage, is going to be 1,000 words long. That is a long thing to read. Traditionally, when people learn RC, the techniques, one of the techniques that coaching institutes really focus on is underlining, right? You'll see that I also use underlining a lot in videos. Unfortunately, you can't underline something when you're reading it on a screen. Now, the CAT computer interface does have a provision for highlighting. Will they have it this year? Will they continue to have it? We don't know. Because for whatever reason, the IIMs change their software provider almost each year. So depending on who is making the software this year, that highlighting feature may or may not be there. So don't take it for granted. So assume that you would not be able to underline, you would not be able to highlight. You still have to pay attention to the key points in the passage. At least remember where they are, so that if you have to come back and refer to them again when you're answering a question, you know where to look. Rather than reading the whole passage again, at least you'll save time in searching for it. This is another challenge of online. Now, a benefit of solving an RC passage online is that it gives you a very, so your time management is actually very, very accurate. Why? Because you have a clock, you have actually a countdown timer that is going to be always present in front of your eyes. This is part of the features of the software, and I think CAT is going to have it this year as well because they have had it consistently each year so far. So a countdown timer would be there in front of your eyes. So RC, while it has a potential to waste a lot of time, since you are able to see this all the time, you could avoid wasting time, right? RC questions take time to solve. There's no doubt about this. So the hope is that at least if you have a clock ticking in front of your eyes, if you have a deadline set that I should not spend more than 6 minutes or 5 minutes or 7 minutes, whatever you decide based on your reading speed and ability, then you should be able to look at the clock and say, okay, that much time has gone by and I should make a decision to move on. So this is, I would say, a benefit of online. A drawback of online is that you may or may not be able to underline or highlight. And that these are just things that you'll have to adjust with. There's really no point grousing about this. That's just how the system is. Okay, so what really is being tested in an RC question? What are the things that are being evaluated? Don't fall for the trap that they're looking for your reading speed. Okay, RC questions are not about reading speed. They're not. So this is not at all the thing that they're testing. Actually, RC questions are all about logic. What is being tested is this: your key ability to read and comprehend. Comprehend is the most important word here. Comprehend means understand, but deeply understand. Understand deeply enough that if you are asked a question about what it is that you have understood, you are able to answer that question, right? So that is what is being tested. This is a very good skill to have because as managers later on in life, you will have several documents and less time to read those documents. So your ability to quickly understand them and be intelligent about them in conversations is a key ability. So the fact that that is being tested is completely valid. It is not a skill that is hard to acquire because it is based on logic. How is it based on logic? We will examine that in detail in our following videos. Now, a typical question in RC is usually one of these three types: fact-based, opinion-based, or a freebie. What is a fact-based question? A fact-based question is something that is already given in the passage and you are being asked. So it would be maybe a date, maybe an occasion, maybe why did a certain person react in a certain way. Whatever it is, these questions I would classify as easy because all you need to know is where it is in the passage. If you can just find that spot, then you can quickly look it up even if you don't remember it and answer the question. There should not be any ambiguity in this. It is just a question of they are trying to test if you have actually read the passage. So fact-based questions I would call as easier questions. Opinion-based questions are the hard questions. If you had to classify among these three, what is an opinion-based question? Opinion-based question is the question where you are asked what is the author's opinion on the issue, or what do you think is the author's tone while writing this passage. There's no shortcut for this, guys. Frankly, I can't give you a secret formula and say that this is how you solve opinion-based questions. You just have to read the passage. Okay. Now, and we'll deal with this later again, but question selection is important. If you feel that you're not too confident about the opinion-based, it's totally fine to skip that question because it's going to be one question and there are other questions to answer in the section. So if you feel you're confident, then go for it. But do be aware that it is a hard question. It requires you to read the passage and then figure out. You could be asked for the author's feeling or tone. All of these are opinion-based questions. Last are the freebies. These are the easiest and of course also the rarest because as we all know, CAT and other exams are not famous for being easy exams, right? Freebies are questions that actually don't even require you to read the passage. That's why they're called freebies. Freebies are things like what is the meaning of a certain word in this passage. Word meanings don't really change. A word would have a limited number of meanings. So many times you are able to just look at the choices and eliminate them and pick the correct one. So word meaning is one freebie. You could be asked maybe a synonym or an antonym. Synonyms, antonyms. It's rare. I am telling you this upfront. It is rare, but if it happens, well, fantastic. Those are free marks that you should score immediately. These are the common types of questions that you should see. So now that we know what is being looked for in an RC question, how do you succeed? How do you really score well in an RC question? So some tips that you can choose to excel in. क्यों भाई? So now that we know what RC is looking for or what is really being evaluated, how does one succeed in RC? Right? Here are some tips that I would say you should definitely focus on. First thing is that RC questions have the potential to take a lot of time. Okay, in the VA, in the verbal ability section, the VA section, RC questions are probably the biggest time drains. So time management, active time management is crucial. In CAT, you do have an online countdown. It's there in the top right corner. You'll be able to see it all the time. But in other paper-based exams, if you're writing Xavier, if you're writing SNAP, MAT, all these other exams, you need to have an eye on your watch. You shouldn't get lost in the passage and solving the questions and then realize suddenly that 15 minutes have passed by. That would be very, very bad. So manage your time actively. When I say actively, what I mean is that keep an eye on the clock all the time. Don't ever stop looking at this. Prepare for long passages. Okay. By long, we are talking about 1,000 words. How to prepare for long passages? There are videos after this where I'll talk about this in detail. But expect a long passage. Topics of these passages, usually they favor topics on science, philosophy, sports, GK. Honestly, anything could come. But if you look at the past few topics, these are the kind of, if you look at past papers, this is what you'll get an idea of, that it's mostly stuff like this. Sometimes it's something to do with law, or sometimes it's a biography, but whatever it is, you can expect that it would not be frivolous. It would not be some light reading. So don't expect a passage from, for example, Harry Potter. Okay, that's not going to happen. The words or the topic, the complexity involved would be reasonable for the complexity of the exam itself. Okay, so now that we know what is being looked for, now we know what all we can do from our side. What can you do starting right now? What are some immediately actionable tips or ideas that you can start doing right now to improve your performance? First thing is speed reading. Should you focus on this? No. The answer is a big no. Speed reading is a hype. Okay, it's a myth. Speed reading is actually a technique. It's a valid technique for something else, not for RC. See, speed reading is a technique that basically says you can skip 2 or 3 words and read a line really fast by reading maybe the first, third and last word and get an overall meaning of the line. All these are fine, but it's totally what you don't want to do for reading comprehension, because the whole key is comprehension. It's not about finishing the passage really fast and then pressing a buzzer, right? The questions that you'll be asked will actually check your understanding of the passage. So getting some crazy speed reading speed of 600 words per minute is absolutely useless. Nobody cares. This words per minute thing is another number that will frequently be thrown at you. People will tell you that you need to know that you should have a speed of around 800 words per minute. Some sources have even say 1,000 words per minute. I've seen some sources like that. Folks, don't be thrown by these numbers. These are absolutely ridiculous. They're absolutely unnecessary. So what is a good speed? Frankly, I don't think there is a good speed that is there. If you are able to read at a speed that you are comfortable with and you can understand the passage, that is fine. Now, there is a time limit involved because you don't have infinite time to solve these questions in an exam. So, if you want to aim for a number, then aim for maybe 200 words per minute. Okay? This is not a hard and fast number. This is not something that you have to achieve. Below this, I will not be able to score. Above this, I will always score. No, not at all. People who have slower speeds than this but have a good level of understanding score well. People who read much faster than this but don't really have a good vocabulary, even though they read the passage, they can't score. So this is really not the thing that is holding you back from scoring. Alright, it's only one of the inputs, and I would say it's not a very important input. So don't go for this myth of speed reading. What you should do really, you should understand your level. Okay, some of us have studied in non-English medium schools, and that is one level. Some of us are already reading texts of Greek philosophy. That is another level. Where do you stand in this whole spectrum, right? Would you say that you're a beginner in English, that you're not at all comfortable, or are you a pro user, so you absolutely are fluent in English, reading, writing? You should understand where you stand. If you think that you're already at this end of the spectrum, then that's great. then most of these videos, or in fact most of the RC section or the VA section is very easy for you. That's fantastic. If you're at this end of the spectrum, then do watch the rest of the videos, keep following along with me, and we'll see tip by tip what else we can do to improve. Okay, so understand where you stand and deploy your time accordingly. If you are in the left half of the spectrum, then another thing you should start doing is conscious reading. What is conscious reading? Conscious reading is, so from now on, every time you read a magazine, a newspaper article, anything that you have to read, try to be aware. Try to ask yourself the major questions: what, why, how, when, where. So this is what is conscious reading. You should be able to tell yourself or summarize to yourself what have you actually understood. Maybe don't wait for reading. If it's like a 5,000 word article, don't wait to read the whole thing. Read a couple of paragraphs, stop for a second and just ask yourself, what have I understood so far? If I were to summarize it in one sentence, can I? What would that sentence be? Okay, so this is called conscious reading. This also we'll talk about in more detail in the following videos, but I would say this is a big step forward that you should be doing. And of course, no limit to saying this: practice. Okay, solve lots of RC questions. There are lots of questions in the Exam Victor tutorials itself, and anything that you can get your hands on. If you find something interesting, if you find a passage that's interesting, you find some questions that you don't agree with that you would like to discuss, do send them to me. You can email them to me and we can put them up for the benefit of everybody else. But practice is what makes perfect, and especially nowhere else more than in RC. So now that the topic of practice has been raised, how would I like you to practice? So how should you be attempting the Exam Victor tutorials? So the tutorials are just like your questions in the exam itself. They're going to be passages, right? So long passages, maybe around 1,000 words, and each of them followed by some questions, right? So when you're doing this, first I'd like you to do them yourself. When you're doing this, what I would like is for you to read the questions first. Read the questions first. This is very important. This is a technique that I'm going to talk about later in succeeding videos. I want you to read the questions first before starting the passage. Okay, I can't highlight this enough. This is probably the most important technique that will help you boost your speed. Read the questions first and then attack the passage. Why? Why is this helpful? If you read the questions, you will know what to focus on. Right? Many times it's possible that the question is asking for a simple fact. When did the author publish his first book? Or when did the lady meet the author for his interview? If it's a question like that, you know that it's just going to be a fact that I should look for in the passage and I can score it easily. Second, it's possible sometimes that there is a freebie question. We've already talked about freebie questions earlier. It's possible that there is a freebie question. If that is the case, then you have got actually marks in the pocket before you even started reading the passage. Third, even if it is a fact question, even if it is an opinion question, you know at least what the opinion is being asked about, right? You know that of this entire passage, I will be asked what the author's opinion is on this topic. So this will inform your reading. When you are actually reading the passage, you'll be more sensitive to that certain aspect of it. So there are a huge number of benefits. It will actually focus your reading, you might get marks faster, and it will just make your reading sharper when you're reading the passage. So read the questions first, extremely important. Don't forget this as you're practicing. Another thing that you should do, especially if you're just beginning your practice for RC, is you should track your speed. Okay. There are, if you all of us have smartphones, so just put them in front of you, start the stopwatch on it, right? Before starting reading the question, just start the stopwatch and see how much time it takes you to read the whole thing, the passage, plus all the questions, right? How much time it takes you to attempt that whole block, and then stop the stopwatch. After you're done with this, send me back your times, okay? Tell me by email or tell me by the comments how well you've done, what your time was for each exercise, and I can give you feedback on what you should be doing to improve. So this is what I'd like you to do when you're practicing questions here. Read the questions first and track your speed and let me know how it goes. This is Vivek from Exam Victor, folks. Thanks for watching.